those of you with supper. Really all you really need is just this and your taco meat. In my family, we tend to use sausage because we have an allergy. I mean, we use turkey instead of ground beef for everything because we have a beef allergy. But ground beef, ground pork sausage, whatever you like, whatever your favorite ground meat is fine for tacos. All right, so I'm gonna dress it up a little. Like I said, all you really need is just your ground beef and your McCormick, and you can do what the package tells you to do on your taco seasoning there. Whatever type of taco seasoning you like, doesn't have to be McCormick, but meat, and then water and tortilla shells. I'm always gonna forget something. So taco shells or tortillas. I didn't have that in the initial picture, but that's always something that's useful. So I'm gonna start by chopping up the onion. I'm sure I've done this in several other videos before, or this is actually only my second video that I'm doing, I'm sure. I know I did this in the first video too. There are probably more efficient ways. This is my way. Right, I just take my trash over to the side. Right. And I probably won't use a whole onion, kind of depends on your taste. What do I have the onion for? I'm just gonna use the onion and the garlic and the salt and pepper as I'm browning the taco meat, okay, which like I said, for me is turkey sausage. In this video, most of the time for most people without allergies, you would probably be using ground beef. But I pretty much am gonna have turkey substitutions for ground beef in all of my recipes on this channel, okay. All right, so here, just just sort of your basic, easy 80s tacos, right? 80s, 90s, I grew up with them. I know there are people that talk bad about them, but they're delicious, yeah. And so that's what we're gonna go with. And again, they're pretty easy, very simple recipe for young people just getting into that. And again, busy moms, yeah, this is a good, just regular evening recipe for us busy folks. All right, so here's about half an onion that I've cut up, and I'm just gonna use minced garlic. Again, because sometimes we just need to make things easy on ourselves, all right? So really from here, the biggest obstacle is just browning the meat, okay? So we're gonna do that. Right, so I'm gonna use my trusty green pan. This is actually my favorite pan, so I will probably link to this in the description. All right, and we're just gonna get to work browning the meat. Okay, browning the meat's pretty simple. You want a good spatula for getting the meat, starting with the good thaw meat. The turkey doesn't really separate quite as well as beef does, especially not until it's cooked down real good. And so I pretty much always salt and pepper the turkey as I'm browning it. That kind of helps to help break it down. I haven't really looked into the mechanism as to why. It's probably just all in my head. But anyway, that's still how we roll with this, right? So I'm just gonna let you kind of see how I do this meat browning. And see, and I have this on about medium heat. I think this pan kind of doesn't want to go to real high heat, so I try to keep it around medium high at the max, right? But this pan, like I said, you are supposed to be able to use metal utensils with it, but I tend to baby my pans and try not to do that. my salt and pepper. Just go until it feels good. I can see this is more of a taste. It's pretty hard for me and my husband to get too salty or too peppery. We really like spices in general. And so I'm gonna throw an onion and some minced garlic in here. Those are some flavors that I really like that I pretty much don't think really ever, I mean, I'm sure there are some circumstances where it might hurt, but I tend to throw onion and garlic into a lot of my ground beef things, whether called for or not. Like I said, I like those flavors. And so I'm gonna throw an onion and some minced garlic in, kind of whatever you like, whatever your flavor profile is. A bell pepper or any sort of pepper would probably be fine in here. I tend to throw peppers in with a lot of my ground beef dishes as well. But with tacos, I usually just stick to, well, I'm usually making tacos with whatever I have on hand, and I don't always have bell peppers on hand. Right. But, and jalapeno peppers, if you like it spicier, any of those I'm sure would be fine in here. But today, I'm just gonna add my onions. And here we have a tablespoon and some minced garlic. That's probably a good amount. All right, maybe a little more. All right, and so now we've had salt and pepper, we got our onions, we got our garlic coming in there, still browning the meat. All right, so that'll kind of grill the onions along with it. And another cool thing about turkey is that it doesn't have as much juices as beef, and so it's usually a little easier to evaporate out. Most tacos will tell you go ahead and drain the beef. I usually don't do that. I try to just kind of cook out as much as I can, especially for tacos because you're adding some water back in there. But you know, you can always drain it if you want. You just take the pan, kind of hold your meat away, and just drain that juice off. But again, turkey meat, one of the benefits of it is that it's not gonna give as much juice, and we can cook that off pretty easily, to be honest with you, just by letting the turkey meat brown long enough. And letting it brown longer, again, helps it to get smaller as we're trying to chop up the bits, right? And so all right, so I'm still seeing a little pink in places, and again, like I kind of like mine to cook down for a few minutes so that it'll get kind of almost crispy. Okay. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Like I said, we've already salted and peppered it. Again, I really like spices, and so does my husband, so we tend to just kind of be kind of heavy on them. And that means that I'm not typically satisfied with just one little pack of taco seasoning, and I also like to throw in some taco seasoning. If I don't have taco seasoning in a jar like this, cumin is pretty much the main ingredient in taco seasoning. So you can use just basic cumin, some onion and garlic. I don't know what the other ingredients are, to be honest with you. Chili pepper, cornstarch, salt, onion powder, maltodextrin, spice, sea salt. It's got cumin in it too. Maybe cumin's a mixture of those. I don't know. Some of those spices, as it turns out, are actually like mixtures of spices. All right, but I just kind of add some extra in there. Bam. All right, and I like chili flavor a lot too by itself. And so here we go, just adding a little extra chili in there as well. Sometimes we've been out of taco meat and started making, out of taco seasoning and started making tacos. And so actually done them with chili seasoning entirely. Instead, you can make some of that with a little lime. It actually turned out really good. Let's see. So you can see what this is looking like. All right, and you can see basically it's already cooked out the meat oil, right? And again, that's turkey instead of beef. Beef, it would take a little longer. You might not be able to cook it all out. But again, like, you're adding water to this anyway, so it's not really a big deal, and I like the flavor. I feel like that has a name that's not meat juice or even oil, but I can't think of it right now, so we'll call it meat juice. Alright, you can see that those onions are looking nice and grilled. So again, now we can always check the package directions out. All right, we've got a pack of seasoning. We've got the ground beef that we use turkey for. Already got out 3/4 cup of water. All right, so now everything looks brown. It looks like I don't see any pink left in the meat anywhere. Right, and again, I'd rather be on the safe side with my meat than not, but you can see that's what I'm talking about liking it kind of crispy. There, just off that camera. Yeah, I love it when it looks like that. Okay, go back in there. Alright, brown the meat. Stir in the seasoning mix and water. Bring to a boil, reduce heat, and simmer. I usually like McCormick seasonings. In general, I buy a lot of the McCormick seasonings. Alright, and then here's my roughly 3/4 cup of water. I think this is actually a little more, but it'll cook down. Alright, we're already boiling there. See those bubbles? Ooh, I just hit the... Alright, and so I don't think you can see my knobs. There we go. Alright, so they don't have things on them anymore, but this direction is off, but like high is right here, so we're at like medium right here, so I'm turning it down a little bit. You can kind of see over there. Yeah, so I guess that's not really helpful. Like this would probably be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then off right here, something like that. Alright, but just cutting the heat down low so that it's just simmering. And basically they're done at this point. I'm okay with this consistency. You can add a little water, take a little water away, or add a little water, not take it away, but let it evaporate, let it cook a little longer, depending on just what sort of consistency you're going for. This is pretty perfect. I'm ready to eat it now, but I'm just gonna have it cut down real quick while we talk about toppings. But I mean, that was, how far are we? 18 minutes. So again, this is pretty much done. It's just assembling your taco now. So this is a great evening meal. If I didn't have it thawed, that would have taken me time to thaw out the meat and everything. But this is a good weeknight meal tacos. Just something easy to do when you get home for the family or for just yourself. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna do is just kind of go through toppings. I don't really care for lettuce. It just seems like a filler of no substance to me. And so I don't have lettuce here, but a lot of people like lettuce on their tacos. I'm using soft shell today. I might just put them in the microwave for like 8 seconds or so to just soften them up, since I've been storing them in the fridge. We're using sharp cheddar because that's what's in our fridge. Whatever you have, great. I'm gonna cut up a tomato. And we use sour cream if you have some guacamole. I mean, you know what taco toppings you like. So the rest is just assembling your taco. I'm pretty sure you probably know how to do that. I'm washing off my tomato. I'm gonna cut the tomato up. I'm only cooking mainly for my husband and I. My daughter had waffles, which is what she wanted for supper. Eggo waffles, not any fancy waffles. So I'm just gonna be cutting up one tomato. I wasted a little bit by cutting its head off a little bit too deep there. But again, it's just the two of us putting this on our tacos. And again, this is kind of a weird way to cut them, but that's how I cut them. To get nice and diced tomatoes with my first few cuts anyway. And then I can re-dice these. It would help if I had some sharp knives. These knives are just really old. They were really good when I got them, but alright, so that's gonna be enough for my husband and I for tacos. I'll cut some more of this one up too. Try not to cut myself. Alright, if I had some fresh tomatoes, that would be best. My tomato plants are not doing great right now. So if you have any tips for what might make my tomato plants happy, let me know. I think it might be the intense heat. They kind of look healthy, but they're not flowery at all. They're just like hanging out all green viney, and no one flowered, and then the flowers didn't even do anything. So I don't know what's up with that, but this is store-bought tomato. It'll be delicious. All right, so again, I'm just gonna take a tortilla, might nuke it for a couple minutes, not a couple minutes, that would be awful. Might nuke it for a few seconds. Take some sour cream, spread it on it, If I wanted, I would put guacamole on it, but I like either or with guacamole and sour cream. I like sour cream a little bit better. Put some sour cream on it, put some cheese on it, put some meat on it, put some tacos on it. Voila. Good side dishes, tortilla chips and guacamole. All right. Some people fry their tortillas. Again, you can use hard shell. If you do use hard shell, follow the instructions. You have to bake them for a few minutes in the oven. Don't just pull the shell out and eat it. Yeah, that's a hard way of learning. So read the directions and cook them that way. And again, this is pretty quick. Even without any timing, it's 22 minutes, even without fast forwarding through anything. So again, really good evening meal that you can do pretty quickly if you have the ingredients ahead of time. All right, see y'all later.